Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the 16th part of What If Deku Was a Magical Girl Mascot, Quirk, Magical Girl Mascot. The author of this great fanfic is Emma Ively. Links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 16, The Truth Comes Out. In the Class 1A box, everyone who wasn't in the match had decided to watch. Even with Ida's match afterwards, he knew he should watch the match because his friend was one of the participants, and also the fact that whoever won would be the one he would have to face. Deku better have a good plan, muttered Katsuki. Hopefully he's not freaking out about his run-in with Endeavor, said Tsuyu. He had a run-in with Endeavor? Asked Ida. What happened? Asked Yaoyorozu as everyone heard. Don't know, he called him out on something then started freaking out to us, said Katsuki with a shrug. Why would he call him out something? Asked Mineta. Endeavor's an asshole, muttered Katsuki. Practically everyone knows that. It was clear that Katsuki didn't want to say it. Ochako and Tsuyu looked at each and figured that whatever Izuku was hiding about Todoroki, Katsuki was in on it. And soon the competitors made it to the match. Alright. We have the adorable stuffed animal boy with multiple quirks Izuku Midoriya versus the ice-cold glacier maker Shoto Todoroki, called out present Mike. Izuku took a breath as he looked at Todoroki. Todoroki just stared back without saying anything. And begin, yelled present Mike. Todoroki made the first move, covering Izuku in a massive glacier. Midnight looked at the massive glacier and sighed. She was just about to call it when suddenly the glacier exploded. Izuku breathed a sigh of relief. As Katsuki's quirk relied on sweat, he wasn't sure if he could use in the glacier, but he was happy he managed to. Todoroki glared at him. He launched more ice at Izuku, however Izuku just blew up that ice as well. Todoroki glared at him. However Izuku ran over to the chunks of ice that were broken off and he switched to Ochiko's quirk. The ice chunk began to float. Todoroki's eyes widened as he realized what he was doing. He did see the last match after all, using the move that Ochako pulled. Release, called out Izuku. Todoroki was about to do something, however Izuku once again switched quirks. This time using his mom's to pull at Todoroki's shoe, making him slip and fall thanks to that and the combination of the ice that Todoroki had already created. Todoroki didn't have time to prepare for the icy meteor shower. In the faculty box, Inko was crying. I'm so proud of him, she cried. Not only that, but he just used my quirk. 13 handed her a sports drink. They stocked up quite a bit. They didn't want her passing out again. Are you sure you don't have a secondary quirk? Asked All Might with a sweat drop. I'm sure, cried Inko. Back on the battlefield, Todoroki managed to get up. He sent out another wave of ice at Izuku, but he switched back to Katsuki's quirk and blew up the ice. Why aren't you using your fire? Asked Izuku. What? Asked Todoroki. I asked you why aren't you using your fire? Asked Izuku. I'm giving it my all and using the quirks I can in this fight. But you're not using your fire? What do you mean the quirk you can? Asked Todoroki. I'd be giving myself a disadvantage if I used Sue's, said Izuku. Todoroki sent out more ice at Izuku, but he just blew up it. I'm giving all I can by using all the quirks that I can. But you refuse to use your fire side, said Izuku. You're trying to give me an advantage? Asked Todoroki. I'm the one doing better than you, said Izuku. You haven't injured me once. While you, on the other hand. Todoroki sent out yet another wave of ice, but Izuku blew it up. Todoroki was breathing heavily, as frost started to cover his body. You can't stop holding back. You're only hurting yourself, said Izuku. I refuse to use his quirk, said Todoroki. But it's not his. It's your quirk, yelled Izuku. It's your power. Not his. Why should I listen to you? Asked Todoroki, considering you use the quirks of other people? Izuku sighed. I do have copies of quirks. But at the same time I give strength to those that I copy. Said Izuku, and I've been making each one of them my own. My mom's quirk isn't that strong. Yet I've figured out to use it in fights. Todoroki just glared at him. My quirk isn't about collecting powers or people. It's about connecting with them, making both of us stronger. Explained Izuku, and all four of them weren't by choice. With Mom and Kaken it was an accident. With Hachiko and Tsu I had no other choice. Todoroki sent another wave of ice at him, but Izuku once again blew it up. Due to the fact that Todoroki was sluggish thanks to him freezing himself, he decided to switch to Hachiko's and perform another meteor shower. Release! He called out after the ice was high into the air enough. Todoroki did produce ice to shield himself, but it was clear he was in a lot of pain due to his freezing. Please Todoroki. Listen to me. I just want to help you. Yelled Izuku. That was when he transformed into his animal form, without meaning to. No. I thought I had this under control. Fought Izuku. That was when a light came from the gem on his forehead. In Class 1A's box. Why is he trying to bond with Todoroki? Asked Mineta confused. Damn it! Yelled Katsuki, I thought he had it under control. Oh yeah, you mentioned he used to have a problem trying to bond with people without meaning to. Said Hachiko. Took him months to learn to get it to stop. Muttered Katsuki, but something must have let that control slip. He has to touch the light in order to bond, correct? Asked Ida. Yeah. Said Katsuki. Wait, isn't there a side effect if a guy touches it? Asked Kaminari. Katsuki just gritted her teeth. That bastard better listen to Deku. Fought Katsuki, gritting her teeth. Back on the battlefield, Todoroki looked at the light. Todoroki, don't touch it. Said Izuku, it will go away in a minute or so. Is this how you bond with people? Asked Todoroki. I didn't mean to. Cried Izuku, I'm usually in control, but I don't know. Todoroki looked Izuku and then at the light which was floating towards him. He narrowed his eyes at Izuku. He still didn't believe that there was a side effect when it came to men. He still believed that Izuku was making it so that it was only girls due to the fact that he saw it similar to quirk marriages. And that's why he decided to prove that there was no side effect when it comes to males. Wait! Todoroki, don't! Yelled Izuku as he saw Todoroki reach out for the light. He grabbed it and suddenly he was engulfed in lavender light. It was warm and gentle, but also felt something about himself shift. It was hard to describe, but something happened, but he couldn't tell what. When the light cleared, he saw Izuku still in animal form crying. The entire arena had been stunned into silence. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Cried Izuku. Why are you APPL? Said Todoroki. Todoroki stopped talking and covered his mouth. Because his voice was now a higher pitch. He looked down, and his eyes widened. There were breasts, he had breasts. Did you turn me? Said Todoroki, clearly freaking out. Izuku nodded. The side effect of his quirk was that it switches the gender of any males that made a bond with him. Plus there was what Todoroki was wearing. The top was a very sparkly sky blue that was sleeveless, the skirt was a shimmering mix of red and orange and resembled fire. Or rather she wore a pair of gloves, the one on her right side of an icy blue while the one of left hand was light orange color. She wore a pair of boots that matched the glove. She also didn't see that on her hair was a tiara that was made of gold and silver with flame and snowflake patterns woven into it, and in the center of it was a lavender gem. The now girl also had light orange streaks on her right side, mixing with the white, and icy blue stakes on her left side, mixing with the red. I'm sorry. Cried Izuku. He then ran away, to the extent that he was out of bounds. The entire stadium was in still shock, so much so it took a bit for Midnight to notice this. Izuku Midoriya has just went out of bounds, said Midnight, shaken by it. Shoto Todoroki is the winner. The crowd was still in shock, as they could see the transformation on the screen. I am also declaring a quirk emergency, called out Midnight. I apologize for the inconvenience. The announcer's box. Present Mike managed to get over it to explain something. Alright. So it looks like we have a quirk emergency. For those that don't know, we're going to take a half-hour break to settle everything going on, explained Present Mike. Aizawa sighed and rubbed his forehead. I knew this was going to happen sooner or later, he muttered to himself. He just wished that it wasn't so public. In the crowd, Endeavor scowled. What did that little brat do? He growled out. In the faculty box, Inko was shaking. She then got up. Where are you going? Asked All Might, though he already knew the answer. I have to find my son. Knowing him, he's taking this hard, said Inko. He's our student, said 13, we'll help you find him. Thanks, sighed Inko. The other teachers went in to search for Izuku as well, informing the police and other heroes acting as security to keep an eye out in case he left the stadium. In the Class 1A box, Izuku's partners and Ida all got over what happened very quickly. After all, they knew about the side effect. We need to find Izuku now, said Katsuki, taking charge. The three of you go find him. I'm going to talk to Icy Hot. Are you sure? Asked Ochako. I'm sure. I'm the only who can right now, muttered Katsuki. The three nodded, knowing that Katsuki was right about being the only who could talk to him, even though Izuku probably needed her at the moment. Before they could leave, however. Okay. What just happened? Yelled Kaminari. Why did Todoroki turn into a girl? Asked Hagakure. It's the damn side effect, said Katsuki. If a guy bonds with Izuku, it turns them into a girl, permanently. The rest of the class was confused. Wait, how do you even know that? Asked Yayorozu. Katsuki gritted her teeth and looked at the class before leaving the box. The other three left to go find Izuku, none of them saying anything. However, the class figured it out with that look. The reason why they even knew about that side effect to begin with. It all made sense now that they thought about it. The reason why they even knew about the side effect in the first place was because until the age of 4, when Izuku bonded with him, Katsuki Bakugo was a boy. That will be it for this part. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 17. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.